You've given new guidance to the markets today, sales guidance, the high teens percentage growth 2022. I wonder, when you try and craft that guidance, are you being conservative, realistic, or are these sort of stretched and challenging targets to get to? How would you contextualize those?
Well, good morning, and I have to say, first of all, we had a tremendous year in 2021 with a growth of about 38% of our revenue. And on the back of this, we're forecasting and guiding the market for high teens growth, which is almost 20%. And that is really driven by our tremendous portfolio of new products in oncology, of course, but also our newcomers, Alexion, rare disease products, and our antibody for COVID protection for people who are immunocompromised and don't respond well to vaccines.
And so the new targets you put out today, Pascal, would you describe them as conservative and realistic, or are they challenging?
Well, they are realistic, I must say. And, we always try to reflect our company growth and prospects as we see them. There are always, upsides and downsides in a forecast, but we think it's realistic, and we hope to be able to even do better than this.
Pascal, let me ask you about the new unit you're forming to house your COVID-19 assets. Typically, when a company does that, it could be planning a sale or a spin-off. What's the future of this unit and those assets?
Well, we have a number of assets in this very important unit for us. Of course, we have COVID assets, both the vaccine, but also our new combination of antibodies that are designed to protect people who are immunocompromised. This is the only product that helps those people who don't respond to vaccines. We also have another antibody for RSV in children, and we have a flu vaccine. So we have quite a number of products, and we are planning to build this division, not to sell it or spin it off.
In terms of the sales and profit outlook for the division, obviously that will tell us a little bit about your outlook for the disease. How do you expect this to play out?
Well, we believe that the vaccine will decline because we are now in a period of time where people are getting boosters. So certainly the number of units used will be declining, but the antibody will grow. So overall, we expect our COVID franchise to decline, but the rest of the portfolio will grow. And that's why overall as a company, we expect to grow by almost 20% in 2022.
If you expect some decline in the need for your COVID-19 assets, where in this pandemic do you think we are? Do you think we've moved into the endemic phase? Pascal, can you hear me?
Yes, can you hear me? Yes, sorry about this.
I'm just wondering what your assessment from your vantage point at AstraZeneca, where in this pandemic you think we are, and if we have moved into the endemic stage yet.
Yes, I think in many countries we are indeed moving to the endemic stage. Thank God the pandemic is slowly falling behind us. We will still need to continue protecting people with regular vaccination, probably mostly for people who are most exposed, most vulnerable, older people and those who have chronic conditions. We will have to protect the people who have been transplanted or have cancer or immune diseases with our antibody combinations, because vaccines don't work very well at all in these people. So there will be a need, like for flu, a need for regular protection, but mostly in most countries around the world, the pandemic is now behind us, I believe.
All right, well, speaking of different stages, you have been at AstraZeneca since October 2012. You are coming up on your 10-year anniversary as CEO. How long do you plan on staying in that role? At what point will it be time to pass the reins to someone else?
Well, I'm still very, very committed to the company. We still have a lot to do. We want to be a leader in oncology by 2025 and in each of our therapy of focus. So, I'm very excited. This is the best time to be in our industry. An enormous amount of new science is breaking out, new innovative medicines we can bring to patients. Of course, we have challenges. This industry is of course always evolving, but very exciting. And I'm building a lineup of very strong managers and several who could succeed me. So the company is in a good place.
Okay, and you mentioned oncology and ambitions there, Pascal. I wonder what you make then of reports that US regulators may want to put the brakes on approving new treatments, new cancer drugs, and other medicines developed in China amid concerns about the quality of studies that go into that. Is this something that at AstraZeneca you're thinking about will impact AstraZeneca at all?
Actually, I think what the FDA has said is that they want clinical trials done for oncology drugs to reflect the diversity of the population. You know, most pharmaceutical companies these days are very committed to producing data that will cover the various populations that exist in the United States. And so the FDA has said if you bring data that are purely done in Chinese patients, this doesn't reflect the diversity of the population in the US, and it's not sufficient for approval. So to some extent, it will reduce the competition coming out of China because a number of companies had focused on developing a product for a quick indication in only Chinese patients. And quite frankly, it is not appropriate to request companies to develop their products in a variety of populations, but then on the other hand, accept purely Chinese data.